Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for our latest WWE pay-per-view, WWE Evolution number 2. We are going all in, we are giving the ladies the opportunity of both Raw, Smackdown and several call-ups as well from NXT, who'll get some opportunities to shine here, and I'll give you a bit of an idea of what I've been booking on the NXT brand as well. We're going all out, we're giving them a major band for their music, we're going to have a B-list celebrity, and we're also going to have an extra 500,000 spent on a special set. But I'm looking forward to this one. I just felt like it was a good opportunity to kind of just showcase the depth we've got in the women's division, and you're forgetting as well, there's still plenty in NXT that don't make this show. Plus we've also got NXT UK, we've got the Josh company in Japan, which has got a lot of women there, and we also have now newly acquired I should say, Rev Pro Wrestling as well, so we've got them. So Rev Pro will basically get just people that are going to be technical workers, because that is wrestling is a sport product. So I'm looking forward to this one. Should be good. So as always, if you enjoy what you see, a wee thumbs up is deeply appreciated. If you're new here, the sub button just drops everything into your inbox. And without further ado, let's crack on. This is WWE Evolution number 2. So 21 segments, meters. Wee bit disappointed. I tried to break the record of our attendance in the save. It said we could have been looking at 50 odd thousand, but still tremendous to see 44,734 people in attendance at the Cardinal Stadium. Now, I tried to get a kind of cheaper rating with our hype entertainment angles. In this instance, I tried it with of course, the 4 horsewomen, who basically, 3 of them came to the ring. We've got Becky, we've got Bayley and Sasha on the same side. They're all babyface. Sasha has just moved to Raw as well. They're all happy, they're all friendly, but Charlotte's just like, nope, don't want anything to do with yous. I'm the best at the lot of us. I'm going to match it for the championship. I don't even care about this celebration. All I care about is me. So a 73 for that one. Becky came across well. Sasha was a wee bit underwhelming, but Charlotte done well. Pretty surprised there's nothing negative about Bayley. Her and Sasha have kind of floundered a wee bit, but I'm hoping we can boost them up going forward, and a 73 for the opener. So we might lose pop here, there's a very good chance of that, but it's still all about opportunity, and if you don't try, you don't find out. Opening contest is a blast of a match. It was about that had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, as we had Raw's Shayna Baszler defeat SmackDown's Tessa Blanchard in 17:53 with a Kimura, a 63 rated match up here. This one was kind of a case of putting obviously somebody in Raw that had nothing to do with it and somebody in SmackDown that was kind of looking for an opportunity. It's an open challenge type idea where Tessa stepped up, but unfortunately just couldn't get to the level of Shayna Baszler. Then had a promo from Miss Paige. She says it's always just so pleasing to her when there is a women's pay-per-view. It just shows the hard work that they've done within the company. She was delighted to be a start of it way back with NXT. And she says she may be managing Dolph Ziggler, she may be managing Jacob Fatu, but she always has room for more clients, and she might just have a wee look and see if anyone in the women's divisions can be the next member of Miss Paige's clientele. So a 60 rating for Paige's promo there. Next matchup was a terrible matchup that saw Dakota Kai defeat Nikki Cross in 11:34 with a top rope splash. It's a 57. These two have been going at it in SmackDown, but the reason here again is just giving Dakota a big spotlight. She's someone we're going to have a big push for in the future. So getting her in this pay-per-view, getting her the exposure is only going to do wonders for her going forward. The other good thing about the exposure thing is you get people in NXT that are obviously judged on a completely different thing, where it's predominantly on their in-ring work, while here a lot of the focus does, at the moment, go towards their in-ring their popularity, I should say, sorry, before obviously we do move the product towards classic balance just after WrestleMania. The promo, speaking of the NXT ladies, Kairi Sane is back down in NXT. She's been there for a while, and she's basically just talking away, and she's got a good opportunity against the dangerous Nicole Matthews, who since she's arrived in NXT has been nothing but dangerous, causing Kairi problems. She's been causing problems to the NXT Women's Champion, that is Bianca Belair. She's been causing problems to the likes of Natalya, and she's just a very, very dangerous individual, so it cannot be taken lightly. As a 52 promo. Match itself was terrible. Apparently all of these matches are terrible, but Nicole Matthews defeats Kairi Sane in 14:07 with the Vancouver Manoeuvre. So 58 is one of those matches in NXT. This gets about a 69, 78. It really does get a high rating, but it's a great level of exposure for Nicole Matthews, and it's can only help her. I think she's quite close to the main roster, if I'm being perfectly honest with her. Someone that's improved leaps and bounds in NXT is Dana Brooke, and she's got a promo with a 52. She's going to be in a match up here against Priscilla Kelly with, of course, the bodyguard in the corner, Raquel Gonzalez. This has been a feud that's been brewing for months and months on NXT, so delighted to give it this sort of exposure on pay-per-view. And the match-up itself, terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, but Priscilla picks up the win over Dana in 14:09 with a quick roll-up. So a 54. Dana by 47 off her game. Again, the difference in products very telling here. Priscilla just had a match on NXT, just there in midweek, and had a 67 in-ring performance. So quite a difference there in the in-ring performance, just purely on the basis of what the product wants. So 54 though, still pretty good, because she can develop NXT for a long time before she can come up to the main roster, so there's plenty of time for her to grow. And after the match-up, Priscilla and Raquel Gonzalez 2-on-1 beatdown, just destroyed Dana Brooke. I felt like it was a good opportunity to get Raquel Gonzalez a good bit of exposure, and the 45 segment touches on that. Just basically had a little promo backstage with Sasha and Bayley as they're getting ready for the Tag Team Championship matchup. We've got 4 teams competing for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They're back on the same page. 4 horsemen mostly together apart from Charlotte. So a 53 promo here. Sasha enjoying going off script. Bayley not so much. And that matchup had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, and it saw Sasha Banks and Bayley defeat the Punk Rock Chicks, Ruby Riott and Shotzi Blackheart, the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and the team of Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir, of course, the WWE NXT Tag Team Champions. So a great opportunity there to give them a spotlight on the big stage. I think with Ruby and Shotzi, they've had good runs as tag champs, they're 2-time champs, but I feel singles runs are pretty much close for them, and there's going to be some NXT members that'll be popping up as well. So overall, pretty happy with that. 53, and the Women's Tag Team Championships move over to Sasha and Bayley. Pretty all over the place in terms of in-ring performance, but Shafir and Duke, project. We'll get them there. Next up, we've got the Raw Women's Championship on the line. It's another opportunity for Chelsea Green. Robert Stone has somehow wrangled her another opportunity, and hopefully, in his case, that she does the job tonight against a very dangerous Io Shirai. And that was a 68 rated promo. It's interesting with Chelsea, sometimes you can get 82 rated promos, sometimes it's 68, but she's 29, there's still a lot of time to grow, and as I say, exposure on pay-per-view can only help. And you don't need to win to gain pop. I've had the Miz lose constantly, and the Miz is absolutely thriving in the high 80s to 90 pop. And that matchup was decent. Io Shirai picks up the win again, defending it against Chelsea in 14:48 with a German suplex hold, giving Io Shirai the 3rd defence of the Raw Women's Championship. She's the goddess of the sky, she's absolutely incredible. She retains the belt here in a solid 73 rated matchup. Moving along, we have a little backstage brawl between Bayley and Sasha alongside Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir, so a bit of tension between the camps, you know, friends of Ronda Rousey, friends of Becky, and they've left basically Sasha and Bayley down and out. It's only a 46 though, because Duke and Shafir don't quite have the overness required in the view of the crowd, and that, even though it was only running for 4 minutes, got a wee bit of a negative rating there. Moving along with a wee video dedicated to Asuka. Now, Asuka was meant to be in the next matchup. It was going to be a fatal 4-way for the Smackdown Women's Championship. She was competing against Billie Kay or Peyton Royce, one of the Iconics, I can't remember, on Smackdown, and she suffered an injury which has took her out for 3 weeks. So just a wee tribute to Asuka, because obviously she's a massive part of the women's revolution and the evolution of it in the World Wrestling Entertainment. So a 50 rated segment. Sorry Asuka, I was determined to use the newly recruited Smackdown superstar. The matchup Poor matchup. Charlotte Flair defeats Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley in 1746 when Charlotte Flair submitted Alexa Bliss with a figure 4 leg lock, meaning for about the 9 millionth time Charlotte has won a championship, but she's the Smackdown Women's Champion. Rhea had a good run, but I felt like it was a good opportunity to take the belt off her and give it to Charlotte, and Alexa was in there just to kind of stop it being two heels. I said it wasn't going to be a 4-way, but the injury put paid to those plans. But overall, a 65 is decent, because after it, returning from injury, Liv Morgan, she was put in the shelves months ago by Charlotte Flair. Liv Morgan, of course, missed Money in the Bank, beats down Charlotte Flair, cashes in the Money in the Bank, and she pinned Charlotte for the 1-2-3, meaning Charlotte Flair basically got another wee quick accolade to her collection, but we are running with Liv Morgan as the Smackdown Women's Champion. So a 67 there. If you actually think if it was on stream or if it was an actual pay-per-view the beatdown happened, I can't remember, it was that long ago because Liv was actually like suspended for 2 weeks or sent home for 2 months actually, sorry, just to kind of sell that. And yeah, Liv Morgan is now your Smackdown Women's Champion. Next up, we are getting ready for our main event, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. We got a wee clip of Becky backstage, just getting ready, getting warmed up, you know, going through the stretches and all that, going through the motions, because we're bigging this up as like a massive, massive main event. So that gets an 82. Same situation with Ronda, that gets a 75. She's shadow boxing, she's just really getting in the zone for what could be an absolutely epic main event. I'm putting far too much pressure on this match, but let's see how it goes down. Ronda v Becky. Great heat and good wrestling. Ronda Rousey defeats Becky Lynch in 25-25 by pinfall thanks to the interference of Shayna Baszler. So a 76, I think this would have been about an 80 if it wasn't for the wacky psychology. The highest promo was about a 73 and the highest match is a 76, so it looks like we'll always pop, but great opportunity here. We just need to work on the psychology, get some more over workers that have a female workers that have a good psychology stat. There was a couple of ways I wanted to book this one, but I just felt like you can tell so many stories here. The numbers game is basically the 4 horsewomen of MMA are all on the same page. The 4 on the WWE are not, so you've already got 4 on 3. If 2v2 have taken each other out, 1 spare, give Shayna the victory, Shayna the interference to take over and upset Becky. Becky can be a bit rusty because you can use the storyline she's only been back for 2 months. So yeah, it really does build to, you know, what Charlotte Flair gonna do. She's on a different brand. It's 4 versus 3 effectively at the moment. Can they manage to convince her, or will they look to get someone else in? Remains to be seen. And we end the show. Again, it's not the greatest rating because a lot of them don't have the overness, but Ronda, Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, Shayna Baszler stand tall, the 4 horsewomen of MMA, and that is a 62 rated segment. So we're really hoping that the extras we put in can bulk up the rating, and there you go. So 82. The show doesn't result in any popularity changes. As I say, we basically covered the backside with the high promotion of the band, the promotion of the celebrity, and of course the set. They can all give big boosts to your rating, so always use them on your bigger events, especially like your WrestleManias or All Outs, whatever you're going to be booking or anything like that. It will give you a good boost if you hear some pay-per-views might be not quite cutting the mustard. And as well, there is a wee bit of reputation I believe for this event, so that would have helped as well, a bit of prestige. Not a lot, but still, in comparison to Mania or anything, but compared to your normal standard pay-per-views, there was a little bit of prestige already on it. So I'll take the 82, quite happy with that. It means every October we'll have Evolution, and we'll see what we can fit in as well, because obviously after WrestleMania I want to go branded pay-per-views, so there might be a lot of shows getting booked, and that will give us, as I say, maybe fit one in the summer. It's October's weird, it's right in the middle, so let's try to find when the best place would be to fit it in. Let's have a look. Obviously 3-player character, so the vast majority enjoyed the show. 44,734 fans there. Anything directly affects us with Oz, our company. just drew 119. They're up to a medium-sized company, so I'm hoping that they can get to a stage where, you know, everybody over there is getting good overness, because the show broadcasts on the network, so it's not as if they're just getting pop in the Japan. It's all over the world. Matt Riddle gets his swell on, sharing some short videos detailing his daily workout routine. Good bro. Apart from that, drug test was 8,000, 6.7 viewers of the event, of which there was 1.88 million views of 3.77. So just to give an idea, if let's go to events and TV, Evolution, so you can see there it's above average, but you look at WrestleMania and that is legendary. So there you go, Royal Rumble, historic, and then something like Elimination Chamber is just normal. So you can see the difference there. SummerSlam though was historic. And to be fair, Evolution did outdraw, but Evolution of course, well, that's quite interesting. Less than Hell in a Cell, but that's only rated as normal. Because obviously you need to take into account previously medium, now Titanic. So last thing I want to quickly check before we finish up, if I just quickly filter this to females, did anyone get significant pop gains? So Bailey is still in the early 50s, Becky lost a little bit, Charlotte 61-62, so I think she's remained about the same, Chelsea, she's about the same, Liv, so Liv will need to work on, but she certainly gained in pop over time. 45 last year. She was up at 57, but obviously kept her off television as took her down a couple of notches, so we'll seek to build her back up. Paige's remained at 61, not really making too much difference as a manager. Rhea 53, that's I wanted the belt off her just so she can go on a rampage and not need to worry about cheap wins as champion. Ronda's gained a wee bit, 82s and 83s, so small progress. Well, in fact, you look at October, big progress for Ronda Rousey. And Sasha 53, 54, so a long way to go for her. Shayna's just struggling to make that 70. But overall, it's a good women's division, and Io Shirai, of course, 61 across the board, and she has been pretty much booked strong as hell, but you can certainly see the last month or so back up to a good level. So, that's it for this particular episode. It's Halloween in game. But yeah, let me know if you have booked Evolution in your own games. Let me know what your card was. And we're now on the road to Survivor Series. So thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, take it easy. And hopefully I'll see you soon for the next edition of WWE.